Hello, my name is also Juan. Not the same Juan as the Dave and Juan, but another Juan. But enough about me. When these two asked me to be an announcer this week, I said, but English is not my best language. Then I listened to them. They also not very good. But anyway, this is Dave and the other Juan.
And 3, 2, 1.
With Wi-Fi, both ends.
We're back. Now, you know darn well it's going to cut out now just because we're bragging about it.
I thought about just
Yeah, man, don't do that. Now, and we did press the record button this time because the nice recorded voice came on and said, "You are now recording," or what.
Speaking of, we messed up last time.
A little bit, but before we go too far, hi everybody, how you doing? I'm Dave,
and I'm Juan,
and this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
There we go. One time this time, no practice.
One time. Yep,
That's it.
Last week, like a nice pre-record session.
Life without a net, man. Here we go. We're just doing what we're doing. Glad you're back. You're apparently.
I am back at home, back in beautiful Louisiana, and then in Baton Rouge.
I know we hate on Baton Rouge.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, I was never a fan of Baton Rouge. I mean, it's okay. Don't get me wrong. Hey, my Baton Rouge friends. I know it's just, people would always, oh, I'm going to Baton Rouge. Okay. Yeah. Right. I mean, it's
not New Orleans, not Lafayette.
Well, we used to, I don't even think it's Thibodeau, be honest with you. I mean, I like, of course,
places are.
We're biased, man. Nichols grads represent. I know Thibodeau's a little bitty place, but it's, we like it. It's got its charm, man.
Yeah, that's right, man. It's always home.
I was we brought it up the other day about some of the changes going on, and what's that thing called? A weir?
The little dam.
So this thing that was up the bayou for a bit, for decades. Yeah, near what used to be. That's always joke about what the buildings used to be. Used to be Mr. Cook.
Mr. Cook. Yep. It was Burger Chef first, and then Mr. Cook, or vice versa.
So I think it ended up Mr. Cook. So trivia for you.
That's where, like a pharmacy or something.
That's where we had breakfast. I had breakfast with my at the time girlfriend, Cindy, and that's what we had breakfast before I ended up proposing.
You romantic devil.
Not there. I should have done it there. That'd have been totally on brand for me. Let me propose in the Mr. Cook. Overlooking the lovely Bayou Dam. I actually did it in front of Nichols, that wharf that I think is, I don't know if they rebuilt it or not, but there's a wharf right in front of
by those fountains.
Yeah, by the fountains where you feed the ducks and stuff like that. And I remember that move
where I swam in the bayou.
Yeah, you go. Well, I wish you'd have been around. You could have had entertainment while. So did that, and everything turned out well, right? The answer came out well. Everything turned out well. But I remember I had it all sort of planned out up until the point that I realized as I'm taking the ring out, I'm doing this on a wharf.
Yeah, it's kind of dangerous. Big slats in it.
Not a very exactly. It's one of these, and it just dawns on me as I'm doing this, like, oh, this is such the wrong place to do this, because if I drop, and man, at the time, man, that ring was on payments, brother. I mean, it's like if it was, that was how they used to brainwash you back in the day about the engagement rings. It was supposed to be like 2 months salary or something like that.
Yeah.
I think
they
it was.
Make anything that cheap when I was.
Well, I wasn't making much. I don't think. Nah, it was 2 months salary. Still wasn't much, but it was 2 dang months salary. I'm thinking, oh man, do not claim. I'd be just like, I would have went in though. I mean, I never would have found it though in that junk. But anyway,
here, I'll digress real quick.
I was about to say, my ring off. Digress from my digression.
I used to take my ring off and spin it. And I did this one time. We were like this patio outside of a restaurant. Yeah, like Friday afternoon.
You're spinning your ring on a patio.
On the table. and it spun off and rolled on the porch on the floor, which was basically a deck, and fell through the cracks.
There you go.
And then it's like, oh gosh, this is gonna suck. And then I'm freaking out. And people are saying, just go buy another one. Just go buy another one. And it's like, yeah, I don't want to do that. So the next day I went back and had like a long rake and reached under the building and pulled it.
That's pretty trusting that nobody saw you do it and it was cheaper than you. So cock me a ring.
Well, it was my ring, so it wasn't 2 months' salary or anything.
That's exactly right. Right. Same thing here. Right. I'm actually impressed that I've never lost this thing. And now, that's the kiss of, when you say that, right?
Next week, that's going to be
coming up on like 29 years, I think. Yeah. It's like same, still that's usually, that's how you can, I used to be able to tell if you're putting on weight or not. Right. Like, how easier or difficult as it is getting the ring off, or when you eat a lot of crawfish.
Yeah.
To this day, oh man, that's so funny. And we all, that is a typical, that's not just a down the bayou thing. That's a typical Cajun thing, right? How are the crawfish? Oh, I couldn't even get my ring off, bro.
I'm all bloated.
They were good, man. They were good. I couldn't even get the ring off. It was that way. We digressed from the digression.
You were proposing on the wharf. Oh,
well, okay, that went fine. That went all fine. Yeah, that was. But anyway, I was down. I was there a 3 weeks ago, and my brother-in-law was telling me we did a little run for some repair stuff, and that with that gone now, people can get up and down the bayou. You can, and it says people are buying little boats and pontoons and building wharfs, and so yeah, it's kind of, I never thought about that. It's like, oh, look at that, man. I'm gonna have to get me a boat. I'm only in Thibodeau about 3-4 times a year, but I want a boat.
There you go. Pick me up, man.
Yeah. Maybe if you come to Pankerville, I ain't bringing.
You'd have to paddle up the bayou for that.
I ain't getting up to Baton Rouge on that. Yeah. Times you try to be a good person and you either don't get appreciated or get, it's a little bit harder than you want. Mine was, I was saying, we talked about before about, wanting, you feel for people that are truly homeless or on tough times, but there's so many scams out there and so many, right? So it sort of just gets to the point. I got friends that say like, I just give everybody $1. I give everybody a couple of dollars. And I'm just like, well, that's why we still get that. That's why. Like, have you ever been on come here to Houston on 59 on the some of these overpasses and underneath those things, man. They work shifts. It's like they tag out. Like they come in and your corner now. Here's the sign. And whatever they're doing what they do. So I would say I would do it when it was obvious, like, okay, this person is in, need. And one time was driving and it was about to rain, man. I could tell I was heading to San Antonio and your place, Buc-ee's. I was coming up on a Buc-ee's, and as I'm turning in, it's this guy, and it's obvious, anybody who's got the shopping cart with all the stuff in it. And here's the key. If they got dogs, like that's almost 100%. Okay. That's legit. Like the guy that's got a shopping cart. And I just thinking it's about to rain. I mean, everything this guy has is probably going to get wet. And I just felt, so I'm pulling it anyway. And I'm gonna give him $20. So you just passed the parking lot where I'm turning in. So I sort of pull in and I slow and I put the window down and, it's getting windy. It's about to rain. And I'm, hey man, probably not the best thing to do is kind of pull up on somebody. I mean, I'm thinking about that after, like, ooh, he isn't ready. I just want, and these dogs, I think one was a pit or a pit mix, kind of looks at, and these dogs were like ready to kill me. They were, and thankfully they were like tied to the basket, I guess. And the basket starts moving, and this guy's just like looking at me weird. I'm sorry.
The homeless Iditarod.
Hey, dude, I just said, I was like, here, man. And I just tossed the 20. And I mean, the wind took it. I'm sure. Whether he got it or not. And I was, I'm thinking, well, I'm trying to do good here, but that was scary, man. I scared myself to death doing that, and drove away thinking, and this is a bad thing to be thinking. I wonder, like, if I'm that guy, like, I'm just walking straight into that Buc-ee's, and I'm wondering what I'm buying. You know what I was thinking? That,
A brisket sandwich.
a brisket sandwich, maybe some dog food or something to feed the dog. You know what I'm saying? And you know,
Well, we were. You mentioned we were in San Antonio last week, and one of the nights we ate out, we actually had leftovers, and we had a fridge and a microwave in our room. So we said, well, let's just take it back. I mean, it was nice barbecue, good brisket, good sausage. But as can be predicted, or should have been able to be predicted, we didn't end up eating it. And
wait, that breaks the Juan.
I know. We talked about this last week. I'm not big on leftovers though. I didn't have any leftovers. That was from my wife and daughters.
That's right. You're just not gonna let it sit here.
Right. Well, the guy, it's the waiter. We ordered like a some famous bread that famous within the restaurant. And so we ordered an order. You want a whole order or half an order? And I said, yeah, just give me the whole order. I'm pretty hungry. But so we all filled up on bread before the food got there.
That's how it always works, man.
But anyway, so the last day we were there, Joey and I, we went walk a couple of blocks to find a couple of bottles of Joy, aka Diet Dr. Pepper. And I said, look, let's take the food. Chances are we'll see somebody. There's San Antonio. There's
dude,
it's not hard to find homeless people.
Name the city. Name the city. Name the city in America.
Yeah.
You're not walking far.
And so we went about a block, and there's a lady sleeping on the bench. And she kind of stirred as we passed. And I mean, she wasn't faking being homeless.
That's right.
But just said, ma'am, this is some barbecue brisket and sausage. Would you like that? It's here. Yeah. So left it.
Felt good. Felt good about yourself.
Felt good, man. So I walk another couple blocks, get my Diet Dr. Pepper, heading back to the hotel. Past the bench, no lady, but the food's still there. Yeah, and I tabbed the boxes to make sure there's still stuff in it.
That's such a Juan move. It's such a Juan move.
But Joey said maybe she wanted to get ketchup, and I said,
put some ketchup on that brisket.
But I always tell people that lack of gratefulness doesn't diminish your goodness.
You never tell that to.
I do, man. I do.
You don't tell that. You got that on a shirt? You got that on the Cajun shirts? Lack of gratitude, man. It don't matter.
Bro, you still a good dude, bro.
Right? Bro, it don't matter if they don't care. You still a good dude. It's sort of a healthy mindset to have, I think, as well, too. It's like, we get, because I think we've joked about this before. I'm not a hoarder, but I somehow form bonds, or I don't even say like emotional attachments. It's not even to just stuff that I had like a long time ago. Like my wife still laughs about this, but I know it's here somewhere. Sometime in college, starting probably in my freshman year, I used the same Bic ink pen on every test I took. I mean,
was it your lucky pen?
Yeah, man. Look, I was on scholarship, bro. I graduated 4 years. Magic in the Bic. It even broke one time. I had freezer tape on the top of it to keep the, because it wasn't a fancy pen. It was but apparently I probably took a test that was a really, really difficult test.
Chewed it off.
No. But I think, and after I did well on that difficult test, I was like, I'm doing everything the exact same from now on. These are my lucky socks. This is my test taking ink pen. And I'm not sure what I kept along the way, but that test taking ink, I guarantee you, even if it was a test that I had to do, I think toward the end when I was afraid it wouldn't work anymore, I would just sign my name and I just use it for a little bit. Just so my lucky,
magic dust on it.
My lucky pen would get a little smart on that paper. There you go.
I'm more sentimental than I am a hoarder. Because I keep things that I have some emotional attachment to. When we moved a few years ago, and I said this before, we were downsizing, so we were going through everything we had. I went through a box that had like old notebooks, like old college notebooks in it. And I said, I had to have kept this for some reason. So I'm going, and it's like, certainly it wasn't for the notes I took in the class. But I'd see little goofy things that people had written in, my notebook. I have, and I'll have to find it. You remember on the radio, we used to do a bit. It was called Dave's Mailbag. And
my name is Dave, so I guess I was there. I don't know.
It was the early onset of you giving advice. Okay. We would have people write letters and ask questions, and some of them we would, write ourselves.
How'd that turn out?
Because it made a better bit.
Yeah, I know. You always get disappointed. Like, let me change that. Let me change that for them.
Yeah, I'm not going to rely on the general public for this entertainment thing. Yeah. But I have a folder with the number of those letters in there.
Oh, we should answer those now. We should figure out how to
see
how to do it. 30 years later, let's see if there's any more wisdom in the room than there was back then. I got to get on my first flight's 3 weeks, I guess. I haven't flown in forever. So I'm flying to Minnesota.
Oh, wow.
Lord help me. I'm going to Minnesota.
It's a great first choice.
I looked at but I'm not going into Minneapolis, and I've been to Minneapolis a lot. Minneapolis was a very cool place. I'm not, I may be again sometime, but anytime you where you're thinking of a city and they say, well, okay, well, stay out of that autonomous zone. Really? We got those? We got places that you just don't go. But no, I'm going to, it's about a 2.5 hour drive, which is
after your flight.
Yeah, I'm going to. It's up on a lake somewhere. It's Minnesota. It's a lake. It's I forget where it is, but it's some conference center on a lake. But I'm gung ho. It's a good chance to get back up and do some things on stage. But the bummer part of it too is this is how I am. If I'm going somewhere and I forget it's a Sunday afternoon. And I'm probably going to have, especially long flight, put up stuff. I'm probably going to have a couple on the plane just to make me sleep. Can't do that in something like, I can't. I hate when when I'm driving. If I'm driving at all, I won't have anything. But if I'm just getting in a cab or getting an Uber, flight attendant, gimme whatever,
But some people are saying even in first class, they're not serving drinks on planes right now. I don't know if that's on all flights.
That better. I'm in first on this flight. They better. I'll be so bummed.
So I was just setting you up so you could do that humble brag right there.
Yeah, well, hey, look, man, that's what you call that's when you haven't flown in forever and you got all kinds of miles and points. I got vouchers, right? I had all kinds of stuff, and I'm surprised that the airlines even let me use them because they used to specialize in just shafting you, right? You'd have a credit that was good for just a little bit. We're going to hit you with that $200 change. That was my favorite. Like, really? $200 change. We'll change that flight for you. I had that happen one time. I even wrote about this. I'm getting ready to get on a flight from, doesn't matter. So where I was going, I got to the airport a little earlier than I thought I would. And I was on a flight that was leaving about in maybe 90 minutes or so, but I'm there and the flight, I guess, was coming to Houston. There was another flight. Mm-hmm. And I knew that the flight I was on was already oversold because I'd got an offer to give up my ticket on the flight I was going to be on. I mean, I had a ticket, I'm fine, but so I know that one's already oversold. I'm standing there. They've boarded this plane and they've got 2 or 3 seats left on flight. And I've got my bags. I don't have to check anything. And I asked the desk person. I said, hey, showed my ticket. I'm on the one here 90 minutes or so, but I'm here, if you want to get me. Oh yeah, we can. So the change on is 100 and whatever. And I'm looking at her saying, okay, hang on. I'm here. Yeah. There's an empty seat. You're about to close the doors. The flight later on is oversold.
$300 to
it's oversold. Back. So there's going to be someone who doesn't get on that flight because you won't let me. It's policy. Yeah. And I just, man, that's when you just like, you stand there and say, you guys deserve what you get. I mean, that's just, okay, no problem. I went
Have you
back.
ever taken the
Went get,
voucher?
went get a beer. I'm gonna go drink a beer and wait for my flight.
Have you ever taken the voucher to stay back?
I never do. I never
I don't
do.
think I have either. I mean,
My wife gets so mad at she used to get so mad at me when she, what do you mean? Why wouldn't you? I'm like, you're not the one sitting in the airport.
right, right. I always say,
But
I would consider it on the way home, but never on the way
oh no,
there.
you can't. No, hell
And then on the way
no.
home, it's like I'm just so ready to be home. I'm darn sure not staying in the airport for another 3
But
hours.
here's the trick, and this I've seen this happen. So you could again, I don't know if the policies have changed now, but they didn't always guarantee you a seat on that next flight.
Yeah.
So you got a voucher, but hey, dude, you just may have bought yourself a day or overnight. I've been very fortunate over time. There's only been a handful with all the flying I've done. There's only been a handful of times that I got stuck somewhere where you to get a hotel.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's not fun. Obviously, I would feel for people, and there's nothing. It's a weird. It's not Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude, I think is how you say it. Is when you feel it's glee at someone else's. It's a German word, right? Glee for someone else's misfortune or something. It's only the Germans would have a word like that, but so it's not that. But I just feel for people when you land at your home airport, like here it's like Houston's mine for the last 20 years, and when it's really bad weather and something, and you're home.
Yeah.
So regardless, I got an hour drive home, but I'm home, and you look at these poor people that are just, oh, you ain't getting home tonight. It's 10:30 at night and there's 100 of y'all in line. Oh man, you just want to just, if you had the money, you just say, I'm buying all of y'all around. Now y'all, it's, talking about cars. So how my morning started. Well, it wasn't really my morning. It kind of was funny this morning doing this, but so when we got back from vacation, my wife's car and every car besides mine was here. And before I left, I wanted to put her car in the garage. Just, let's put it, and let's leave it in the driveway because it looks like two vehicles are here and looks like the house is. And I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, man, I got neighbors everywhere that know we're going. We got cameras everywhere. I mean, I think we're covered, but okay. If you want to leave the car in the driveway, let's do it. Well, that ended up being not a great thing because we probably got 2 feet of rain while we were gone. And that's when we discovered apparently my wife's car has a leak now. Is not an under the hood,
not an engine leak.
No, a water leak. And
Good luck finding that.
Oh, and here's the thing. So, and God love her because the car it's about 10 years old now because she will not, she's sort of a little like you in some things. But I gave up. I used to say, let's get you another car. Let's get, no, I like my car. Sure. And we've been having that fight. So, you hang on to a car for 10 years, you end up, and it's in pretty good shape. It stayed most of its life in a garage and it's, but yeah, good luck. Good luck trying to find where water, like both floorboards in the back had, but I mean, I don't know that it was standing water on the rugs, but when you pushed them, they squished. Okay.
But even where the water ends up in the car, first of all, it has zero to do with where it enters from the outside. And second of all, it could be leaking somewhere else into the car and traveling to the back seat, to the back floorboard. It could be dripping under your dash and end up wet in the back floor.
Dude, you call an auto repair place, and I got one just down the street that we use all the time, and they do everything but tell you, man, please don't bring that in. Please don't bring us a leak because they don't. It's the same thing. Like, where's it coming in? You can see I got water dripping here. What they want to do is the first thing he tells me is, well, it could be the AC coils, could be whatever. Like, nope. I can tell you it's not that. Wasn't even run. It was just sitting out in the rain. It's like the auto repair places are hoping it's something mechanical that they can touch, they can find. Oh, right. When you just say like, on it. There's a seal somewhere. Oh, they just.
Does she have a sunroof on the car?
Yes.
Okay. Let me tell you this.
Oh, I've looked at all the videos, but let me tell me what you're going to tell me.
Does the roof open?
Yeah.
Okay. There are air holes in there. Did you try that?
There are two in the
Or
front,
yeah,
and
the little
there
drain place.
and there are two in the back.
Okay.
Good luck with that, because yes, you pour water in the front and see what they do, and it drains properly. Now the ones in the back, you ought to look. Here's what's, and again, I'm not obviously, I just said I would not trust myself on a go-kart I built, but you start watching these videos, and you're sort of a handy guy. You put in floors. When we first started doing this podcast, you were putting in floors and stuff. And
I'm still putting in floors.
okay, never mind. You're not a handy guy.
I'm handy, just not quick.
Well, okay. And I would take on maybe that kind of project, but I'm the same way. You have more patience than me. I just get disgusted with myself after a little while, saying, I'm not doing this. So you start watching these, and I got friends that do this, and they'll watch a video. Oh yeah, and are fearless taking things apart. I mean, the first anything that I bought that is together, as soon as I start taking it apart, I'm like, man, I'm messing this up. I'm messing this up. I got a brother-in-law that like builds computers. I got one that just can wire anything, and I just like, hey, I buy you lunch. You know what I mean? And I'm watching the video about how to find the leak on this model.
Yeah.
Dude, as soon as they start taking out the back bumper,
oh no.
That's when you're looking at it. Whoa, wait.
Yeah,
I got water. How is it that I've got water? And apparently sometimes like it's up top. There's sometimes that's the other thing. Sometimes it's wet. Sometimes it's not. The floor is always wet. From where? I don't know. But when you look at the video, they're taking out the back bumper. And when the guy's on the video, and like when you've got your own video series of fixing things.
Yeah, it's got a lift in his garage.
And even those guys are saying, now this part is tricky. That's shut up. You said enough. Or now be careful when you take these parts out, put them in order, because there's going to be a lot of, and this thing here, it's a clip, and it doesn't feel like it wants to go, but if you pry it, you just got to pop it out there. And I'm like, man, pop it out.
Yeah.
In my life, every time I've taken off one of those clips or pop out, it never pops back in. No. You know how it popped out? It broke.
See, that's when zip ties come in. You just zap it back on there with a zip tie.
I'm a fan of zip. Oh, dude, I'm a fan of zip tie. Anybody around here tell you? My wife would tell you I got zip ties everywhere. I mean, yeah. and I'll say everywhere. No, I mean, you don't walk around my house seeing zip ties, but I've got several packs because I'm when I'm outside doing something. Now, I've never done a car. I did a bike repair. I did a bike repair with a zip tie the other day. My wife on her bike, she had like a screw come loose and it wouldn't stay. I got that.
Yeah,
watch this.
Like I had a car that you basically had to take the wheel off in the fender well to change a headlight.
Oh,
and
man,
I just couldn't justify paying $100 to bring a car to the shop to change a bulb. And you'd pull those plugs out and they'd break. So I'd zip tie that sucker back in. And
I can see that.
Trim it nice, you can't tell.
Well, or if it's outside, yeah, or a duct tape. Man, listen. I'll slap duct tape. That's my favorite tool. Duct tape is my favorite. Not good for everything, but it's good for a lot.
You can get like decorative duct tape now. So
we got it. I got yellow. I got black. I got blue. Gray. Come on, man. Gray's for the rookies. Gray's like, I'll put up you ever do this where you sort of rig something up and with the idea that I'm gonna come back and make that look better later, or I'm gonna never, man. No. Never. It's like when you buy a house. I tell that to people that when you buy a house, whatever you're looking at right now that you think
that's what it's gonna be.
Or no, or you're saying, you know what? Like whatever you are going to fix or replace, whatever you're going to fix and replace, the first 3 weeks you're in that place.
Yeah. After that,
man, once you get used to it, once you get used to the rattle, once you get used to I got a stain over there, but it ain't really.
Yeah, you throw the book on there, you're good.
Oh man,
I put the radio just a little bit louder in the car. I don't hear the rattle at all.
We had a hurricane damage 10 years ago, maybe longer. I forget which one. It might have been Ike. So I got to look back when Ike was. And I say damage. What happened was the wind. So roofs are designed to, they drain, but they're not designed for water to go up. right? Like, so those,
it's a gravity type of.
yeah. And the pipes, you got those pipes coming out of the bathroom. You get the pipes that come out your bathroom and they got, flashing and stuff on them. But for the most part, yeah, it's fine. It's not designed for 110 mile an hour winds and we had that for a while. So one of the upstairs bathrooms, and luckily it's above the shower, had some, water spots. So what happened was, so the roof doesn't leak, but for that time, so I guess it's so if we get another hurricane that comes into that angle, 110 miles an hour, I'm probably going to get water that's going to come through it. But that's, so we got some kind of, when the settlement all came, dude, that was 10 years ago. Same water spots above that shower, still there, man. It's a shower, and it's a shower nobody uses. It's a shower like my youngest son uses. So those water spots are probably the least gross thing in that shower.
We had, talking about the house we sold again, and I hadn't thought about this in a while. Probably around 2007 or 8, we had a hurricane, and same situation as you. The one of those vent pipes, I think water had gotten into that and leaked, and so we saw it on one of the upstairs bedrooms ceiling. So during the storm, I went and put a 5-gallon bucket under where it was leaking.
Man, you might kind of fix it, man.
Forgot about it after the storm. Just never thought about it again. Never leaked again. Well, when we go to sell the house and it gets inspected, come to find out that the reason it never leaked again into the ceiling was because my bucket was placed so perfectly that it was still catching water. And because it was a big bucket, the heat would just evaporate the water. So 10 years later, that little thing was still leaking.
Hey, never bothered you.
That's right. So
did they write you up on that?
Yeah, and I think I got like some handyman to throw some caulk up there.
Hang on, I got it.
Yeah, if duct tape can't fix it, caulk can.
I'm a big fan. Yeah, myself, big fan of caulk. Big fan. My dad used to be that way with glue. My dad could glue anything. I'm telling you, he did. And my wife still laughs about one time he had I'm making this up. He had a tackle box of various glues. He loved them.
Probably knew the ideal purpose for.
Oh, dude, he loved them some epoxy. Mix that stuff up. That was always that. You way too committed. Anytime the gluing process requires me to mix two things first, but
and then good luck getting it to work a second time. Because one of those containers is going to get hard.
You do stuff enough, you know how to do it. But yeah, man, he could glue. That was the thing. I'm pretty good at gluing. You got to grow up. It's kind of funny the skills you pick up. I ain't lying, man. He fixed china. He glued a sink, a bathroom sink once that something fell. Might have been like a big, I don't remember what it was. Dude, you want to date stuff? Remember when Avon used to have the cologne? You have like a big horse head or
the decorative bottle.
That's right. Back in the old days, you had Canoe. That was a grown man's cologne. Was like Canoe.
There was some that had a boot.
Boot. Oh, yeah, you're right. I remember High Karate. There was High Karate, but so it was an Avon, like a horse head or something, with Avon cologne. That must have been mine in a cabinet.
That's for the special nights with the ladies.
It's right. Yeah, I was probably 13 years old, or 12. Anyway, it fell off the medicine cabinet. Broke the lavatory. Just broke it, cracked, and it was so my dad glued it. You literally could not see it. I guess you literally could not find the line.
That's commitment right there, because you gotta not just glue, you gotta hold it. And
oh, he had ways. It was just one of those. I remember. And it's kind of funny, all these you live to be all the things that are hard to remember in life, right? You get to a certain age, they were middle-aged guys, and all the memories you could possibly have in your head, dude, still to this day, one of the most impressive feats I could ever remember. It's my dad gluing a Labrador, and it was perfection. It was like, wow.
That's talent, man.
The work.
And he didn't have to look up. He probably didn't have to look up a YouTube video to figure it out.
No. That's funny about that. We the modern technology. So do you have a Ring doorbell
Mm-mm.
at your house? Okay, so we've got a couple of Ring doorbells, and I'm a fan. I'm not a fan of the fact that probably Amazon is just recording.
There's some big new thing now with Amazon that you supposedly got
Everybody's
7
sending
days
it around.
to,
Yeah, nobody.
so
I guess it's true. But so my mom's house in Thibodeau, we have a Ring doorbell. We got like a full, we got cameras all around. I
mhm.
want that. I envy the camera system we had put in at her house. I mean, I can like she'll call me sometimes and just say, "Hey, can you look in my backyard right now?" My mom will call me and ask me to tell her what's in her yard. Like, "Hang on, mom, let me pull up on my phone." And I love that. But she also got a Ring doorbell, and and sometimes she's there, and it takes her a while to get from the back of the house to the front, and the dogs are going crazy and stuff. And so somebody will ring a doorbell, and I have it set on my phone that if somebody rings her doorbell, I get the alert. And so it was a couple of days ago, and I'm thinking this is such a modern technology, but such a Bayou thing. So the phone rings, and let me see, make sure, because I think my mom might be by herself at the time. So I'm like, who is it? And it's a relative I have not seen in forever. Great guy, love him and his wife. He's an older, he's like 80 or something, and he was they decided we was to go travel and then go visit my mom. Well, I know that she's probably again in the back, maybe probably still in her robe. But you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, when you retire, so I don't want them to leave, right? Because
Trust me, when I retire, it'll be rare that I have pants on. So
well, I'm sure she was, but my mom's one of these, like, these folks that say, "Oh, I'm not dressed," and they're dressed better than you were all day long. They sleep in better clothes than you. I mean, okay. So apparently they don't have each other's numbers, and they just kind of popped in to visit my mom, and I know they came over an hour, so I'm like, I can't let them leave without. So I'll hit the Ring doorbell, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? Oh, hey, guy comes up there, and I'm like, is that who I think it is? And I couldn't remember his name at first. Yeah. Yeah, that's not the answer I wanted, right? And then I took a shot. I went, is that Harold? Yeah. Oh, hey, Harold. He goes, is that Dave? Yeah. I didn't know you lived here. I don't.
No, I'm in Houston.
I know. Yeah, and that's when the mind blow starts. When you're trying to
hear. Well, yeah. That's right. What are you doing in Houston? That's what you should have told him.
We're having a conversation, and it's just so funny. And I'll forget what I was doing. Thankfully, I was not, I was doing some work, but stuff I could step away from. And I'm just thinking, this is just great. I'm just trying to kill time with an old cousin that I had, forever. No, I'm talking to you from Texas through the doorbell. Yep, got it. But I made the connection call. Yeah, it was all, it all worked out, and it was funny because I went back after and just made sure that, I got in. And it was, the funnier thing was listening to the recording after. Yeah, Dave said he was going to call you. Them explain to each other. And I'm sitting here like, I'm in control center sitting here in Houston from my mom's house. Like,
yeah, Houston, we have a problem.
so if you ring the doorbell, I got you.
All righty. I'm going to go at your mom's house, and I'm going to go, ding dong ditch.
Don't do that, man. We'll go looking for you. All right. And I guess it's that time of the week.
Yeah, looks like it's working too.
Push that button and not only see if it's stuck to tape,
Just started.
How much of this is worth keeping on? We'll see.
It's always a mystery, man.
You never know what the gems are going to be. You never know till you go back. You forget you said that? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
dang.
it's like a box of Cracker Jack.
I mispronounced that word too. Wow. I got to work on that. But anyway, it's fun. And we love having you here with us. Contact us. We love hearing from you. Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. We do read them, and we do take suggestions. Well, most of
we do.
Most of them anyway.
We got a picture of a a lady we know feeding her grandbaby while she was watching us on TV.
That's why you're raising them right.
That's right, man. And apparently before, the baby was being fussy and fell asleep during the podcast. Now I'm not sure, if we were soothing or boring.
I'll take that as a win. I'll take
anything, man. Hey.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, we were closing. I'm sorry. We got 5 minutes. Yeah, David1@protonmail.com.
Facebook, check us
yeah.
out there where you're watching this. And check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel where you can see this one and all of the past episodes, which we're building up like a huge library now, man.
It's long, man. It's long. And people tell me like the YouTube subscriptions, I guess, work, but maybe not because somebody.
I think you've got to, I'm not that tech savvy. You can subscribe, but you can also
subscribe
to ask or to sign up to get an alert.
Whatever. Don't make us come to your house. All right.
Don't.
We don't have to go
that Ring doorbell and working on you.
I'm a fan of Ring. All right. Anyway, hey, this is fun, guys, and it's even more fun, obviously, when you're here, and we appreciate you being here. So I'm thinking we're gonna maybe get back together again next Monday.
Monday, probably 7-ish.
For a first. All right. Have a great week, man. Love you.
All right, man.
Bye.